I got you, John. The School District of Milton Board of Education norms is to represent the responsibilities of serving as a school board member and to represent the students, staff, and community at the highest level. The Board of Education has adopted the following norms to guide their work, and I will read bullet point 4. We will respect and support the decisions of the board. Confidential information will not be shared outside of the group, including discussions in executive sessions. We will align our work and priorities with all aspects of our strategic plan.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we have an agenda. 1D, action on minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for the regular meeting held on August 10th, 2026, and the minutes for the data workshop meeting also held on August 10th, 2026 as presented.
Motion from Rick, second. Action on vouchers.
I move to approve general checking account vouchers totaling $429,604.36 as presented.
I can redo everything. Item 2, superintendent update. Superintendent Bill Horn.
Okay, so we have this month, at the second meeting of the month, we have our admin highlights. I'll ask the administrators to come up and tell us what's going on around the district.
Shout out, thank you. I wanted to give a shout out to 40 local businesses donated to our welcome back baskets that we gave to all of our new staff. So just the partnership that we continue to build with our local businesses and the amount of donations was significant. The baskets were overflowing. So that partnership is amazing. Again, shout out to all of our educators. They have been doing a lot of professional learning and professional growth between last week and this week. We've partnered with CESA 6 with our high school for their essential standards work, the implementation of Amplified Desmos for our 9th through 12th, and then 2 middle school teachers who teach algebra. We also are partnering with Amplified Desmos for our pilot for our 6-8. Our CESA 6 also does our literacy for our K-6 implementations of continuously learning with literacy. Arts and letters is being piloted for 4th through 8th. And then today we had a great intentional work around standards and report card auditing. So it's not redoing our report cards, but it's really looking and being intentional of the standards and the vertical alignment between our K all the way through 8th grade. So shout out to our educators who continue to be committed and dedicated in this work.
at the district level from the special education and student services lens. We have a few teams who have been doing a lot of work on evidence-based practices around social emotional learning. Specifically, our early childhood and 4K staff are working on what's called pyramid models. So some of those evidence-based practices for our earliest learners, and then 4th and 5th grade adopted Character Strong as their new SEL curriculum this year. And so they've been working on that training. We also have had collaborative goal writing training. So training for our special education teachers and related service providers who work with some of our students with the most complex needs and who have a lot of people who are working together to try to meet those needs. So it's a way to bridge that gap between those services and be really collaborative in that process. Today, our special education teams met all together to go over what we're going to do to help support and ensure that students meet their IEP goals by reviewing and adjusting our instructional practices based on data. And then coming up, we have training in CAMI, which is a reading and writing accessibility tool that grades 3 through 12 will be able to access.
All right, in the 4K3 world, we were all very excited to welcome our staff back on Wednesday last week. It was very energizing to have far more adults in our schools and talking about the year coming up for our students. Big shout out to our instructional coaches, like Ms. Musgrove said, leading that work with report card alignment today. There was some really robust conversation around that. And then we're all getting ready to host families and students for our open house on Wednesday from 4 to 6.
At Northside, a lot of the same things. I just want to highlight, the staff partaking in all the professional development. There's a lot of mental work that goes into that, and they showed up participating. In particular, today with the auditing of the report card, it was great to hear some of the staff asking really great questions, like, do parents read that? Do they know what it means? So really digging in and figuring out what we need to do to educate not only our staff, but our families as well. Of course, gearing up for open house, much like everyone else, and then looking forward to some of those events coming up, in particular at Northside, 4th grade ice cream social and outdoor ed for 6th graders. That's always exciting.
Prior to this meeting, we had 3 hours of school supply drop-off at the middle school, which means lots of lockers and combinations and getting back in the swing of the school year. Our regular open house is tomorrow night, so that will be exciting to welcome families into our school as well. The most exciting middle school update is our 2nd floor. We, over the summer, had a pretty amazing project. So we have new flooring in all of our classrooms, hallways, new ceiling tiles in the hallways, fresh paint across all of that space, including the lockers. So it looks like a completely different place on the 2nd floor. And the day we welcomed staff back, they could only access the 2nd floor by an elevator. And we were wondering what today was going to look like for school supply drop-off. But by Friday at the end of the day, we were all set and ready to head into this week. So stop by us at the middle school to check out the 2nd floor sometime.
And a lot like was mentioned already, we're excited to have our teachers back for a few days now. Having the building have some action is always a great thing. Looking forward to our students coming back next Tuesday. Also, just want to mention our open house. We have our open house at the high school tomorrow as well from 6 to 7. So excited to get some bodies in there, some students in there to see the space. Wednesday, we're inviting all of our freshmen back into the building for our link crew, which is always exciting to see our upperclassmen leaders talk to our freshmen, engage them, do activities, really kind of get them excited to come back. A huge shout out to Devin Hammer and Casey Dye for organizing and working with our link crew leaders. And sports, our sports teams are up in action. Girls golf has had an amazing start, finishing 2nd at the Monona Grove, and just looking forward to our season's sports season starting and getting action there. So we're excited. Thank you.
Lots of good stuff happening. Any questions for the admins?
Can we just get all the open houses? What are the times for those, the dates?
So the tomorrow night is middle school and high school is 6 to 7. Middle school is 5 to 6:30. On Wednesday night, or the 4K3 4K3 or 4K6 buildings. The times for the 4K3 is 4 to 6, and north side is 5:45 to 7 o'clock.
Okay, next up on the agenda, we have 3A, Finance Committee Report from Tracy Hanna.
Thanks, John. The Finance Committee met on August 18th at the district office. We were preparing for the annual meeting. We reviewed the data that was going to be presented, and if there are any questions, we can discuss it. If not, the annual meeting video will have the presentation in it.
Ross, if I might ask a question, for those that don't watch the annual meeting, could you just remind us or tell us the tax levy and I guess being under levy again this year?
Correct. That was something that I did not highlight specifically in the annual meeting, but I'm glad you brought it up. For the past 3 years running now, we've under levied our full authority. So for the last 2 years of our $2.5 million non-recurring referendum, and now the first year of our $5 million recurring referendum, we are under levying again. This was intentional. When we were preparing for the 2024 referendum, we signaled that the authority we'd be seeking would be something we'd use over time, such that we weren't back on the ballot sooner than we have to be, and we'd use that authority over, again, the next several years, such that we'll bring forward future shortfalls or future structural issues with our budget, if and when that comes up in the future. So this year, we're under levying approximately $2.1 million of our full authority.
Thank you. I think that's tremendous, and I think that's something we should celebrate as a district, and hopefully we can find a way to do that. Just like the data workshop, I think there's a lot to celebrate, but we're always so focused on just getting better. So congratulations. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
That it?
One other thing I wanted to highlight for those who are listening or possibly listening at home. One point that was made during the annual meeting was about the OPEB benefit, and that for the first time, we have now fully funded that. We are no longer non-funded on our OPEB benefit. So that is a huge achievement and accomplishment. And we'd like to thank the business office for all the work that they did to get there.
Since you brought that up, I will say it is a great thing to be at that point. It's actually something this district has been working towards for the past 20 years. Ironically, it's one of the projects that I worked on with my mentor, who was here at the time, Diane Meyer, who was our business manager. And it's kind of cool to see the plan that she started kind of come to the end while I'm here. So very cool. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Item 4 is new business. Chris Tukendorf, discussion and possible action on proposed additions and changes to the employee handbook for 26-27.
All right, thank you, John. Following up on our conversation at the board meeting on August 10th, I'm presenting this memo and draft employee handbook for review. From our last board meeting until now, I have not had any board members reach out with any kind of questions, but I can take any questions if you have them now. Pretty standard coming from our Human Resources Committee meeting at the end of July and then our board meeting on the 10th. So no other changes have been made since our board meeting at the 10th.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2026-27 School District of Milton Employee Handbook changes as presented.
I'll second that.
Okay, we got a motion from Rick, a second from Jen to approve the 26-27 School District of Milton Employee Handbook changes as presented. Any questions? Okay, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Next up, new business. We have Whitney Weiss for the seclusion and restraint report.
Thank you. Although we went through a lot of this information at our recent data meeting, this is our annual report that just provides an update on our data for seclusion restraint as a district. So if we look at the first table on there, it gives us our data from last year, 25-26, and breaks that down from 7-12, where we had 0 seclusion restraints, 4K through 6, where we had 10 seclusions, 16 restraints, 8 that included both in one incident, and then for a total of 34. 6 of those students involved were students with an IEP and 1 without. So 7 students total in our seclusion restraint data from 25-26. The next table on there outlines how that compares to previous years. So if we look at 21-22 and 22-23, our data is in the 20s and 30s for typical seclusion restraint, and that's pretty typical from years prior. 23-24 and 24-25, we saw a spike where 98 and 91 seclusions and restraints throughout the district. So 25-26 brings us back into a range that is fairly typical for the district, and is thanks to a lot of work from a lot of teams who put in a ton of effort to look at the way that we were responding to student behavior crisis, to put in a lot of time into learning new ways of how to respond, and always adding more tools to our toolbox so that we can meet ever-changing student needs. So in all, we remain committed to creating a safe and supportive environment for all students, reducing the use of seclusion restraint through proactive evidence-based practices, and continuing to provide training, prevention, and individualized supports to address changing needs of students and staff.
Thank you, Whitney. Are there any questions for Whitney? Nope. If not, we'll move on to 5B, which is still Whitney, Equitable Services Report.
This is our annual report that talks about equitable services that we provide for private schools in our area. So Milton has one private school in the area, Rock Prairie Montessori School. So each year we hold an annual collaborative meeting with Rock Prairie with their new head of school, this year, Tracy Hall. So that meeting was held this summer to look at what we are required to provide in allocations, which is a proportionate share of IDEA funds that the state lets us know this is how much money we need to spend towards those parentally placed private school students. So those numbers are based on the numbers of students who were enrolled at Rock Prairie in that first Friday count or third Friday count last school year. So 2 students in the preschool area, 5 students in the upper grade levels. And then that is the amount of money that we are required to be able to provide to Rock Prairie. So that looks like evaluating students, providing services for students through ISPs, similar to IEPs, but individualized service plans. And so we have staff within the district who go and provide services and provide consultation for students at Rock Prairie because we are required to identify any student with a disability in our surrounding area in the school district of Milton. So we remain committed to continuing a strong partnership with the private schools while meeting the needs of students who attend within our jurisdiction without compromising district services. We continue to locate, identify, and evaluate all children with disabilities, age birth through 21 through our jurisdiction, and we continue to utilize a proportionate share of IDEA funds annually on services for parentally placed private school students with disabilities. Any questions?
I don't see any. Thank you, Whitney.
Thank you.
All right, 6, miscellaneous. A, action on staffing reports.
I move to approve the staffing report as presented.
Got a motion from Tracy, a second from Rick to approve the staffing report as presented. Any questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passes. Number B, action on gifts and donations.
I'll make a motion to approve gifts.
Second.
Got a motion from Rick, second from Tracy to approve the gifts and donations with gratitude. Any questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. C, meeting dates.
All right, some upcoming meetings. You mentioned Tuesday and Wednesday, the open houses, but again, high school and middle school is going to be on Tuesday, then the 4K6 buildings on Wednesday. School starts on September 1st. And our next regular scheduled board meeting is September 14th at 6:30.
Jeremy, remind me, do we need to do quorum notifications for open houses? Did you? Perfect. I just didn't catch that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jeremy. 7A, adjourn meeting. Can I get a motion?
I move we adjourn.
I got a motion from Rick, second from Jen. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, guys.